Blessings in love and light of our one infinite creator. Welcome, my brothers and sisters, to the Law of One channel. I am Robert, your humble host and student teacher of the Law of One. Today's conscious channeling comes from LL Research, occurred March 9th, 1986. And I think for most in this group, may have an inclination as to wondering if they are a wanderer. That's what today's topic is about. So let's get into it. As the night sky opens and as you come together in circle this evening, we find that there are questions upon some of your minds concerning a certain aspect of love, which has to do with the interaction of entities who wish to express love for the Creator and to each other. There are many, many ways in which separation betwixt one entity and another, or one group and another, can be apparently seen. There are differences in appearances between what you call your races. There is the difference between male and female. There is the difference between young and old. And there are many, many finer, or shall we say, less obvious differences having to do with personalities, as you call them. One of these differences especially has been the subject of much pondering by some within this group, and by many others of your peoples as they contemplate the most appropriate way to share their lives with others. We speak of the various dimensions from which wanderers, as you call them, come. We shall elucidate. Those of fourth, fifth, and sixth densities, those being the densities of love and compassion, light and wisdom, and unification, all have some representation amongst your peoples at this time, as there is a great call, my friends, a call which cannot be ignored, which comes from this planet in travail which you call Earth. Because wanderers are most often far different in their internal modes of thinking and their external modes of expression from those native to the third density experience, wanderers feel and express a kind of loneliness which is born of being the stranger in a strange land. At times, this difference seems almost nothing, and the daily life flows quietly and with a nearly imperceivable difference from that of the native to this third density planet. However, it is the nature of the wanderer to find itself homesick, and out of this homesickness is born the desire for companions who more closely approach the native ways and modes of thinking and action of the density whence each wanderer has come. The fourth density, being one full of love and compassion, has as its native way of thinking the banding together in groups within which are often many more than one mated couple. Many fourth density wanderers moved within the earth planes during those years which this instrument calls the baby boom years. Thus, many of the young of your peoples who were known within your culture as hippies, who dwelt not in couples, but in communities, and through memory yearned to reproduce the love and compassion that is a larger reality than the reality whose illusion you now experience within third density incarnation. Likewise, There have been wanderers from the sixth density which have been among your peoples for a more extended period of time, but in far fewer numbers. Within the dimension of unity, the common practice again is to dwell in large families whose members are related not by blood, but by a commonality of thought. At the same time, my friends, you have begun being visited by those of fifth density, the density of wisdom. The native of fifth density seeks solitude. For being wise, it is also without need for the companion of others. For the essence of wisdom, my friends, is the knowledge that which is to be sought is a grasp of the unity of all things. This part of the journey of the seeker must needs then be a solitary one. The most clearly understood and easily accepted form of companionship within fifth density are those of teacher and pupil, and those of respected equals. We are aware that as each of you has thought of community, there has been the puzzle which did not seem to be able to be put together. Some wishing one kind of community, some another, with no guidelines offered that seem universally acceptable. My friends, this is due to the mixture of fifth density entities with those of fourth and those few of sixth, each of whom find a mated relationship somewhat confining, not because each wishes greater experience in mated relationships, but because each half remembers the depth of friendship, companionship, and caring possible and indeed right among groups larger than the mated pair. And yet, those of fifth density must needs seek solitude within community. Those of fourth density, loving, joyful, and generous, have hospitality to offer, as do children who play and welcome all to their games. Those of sixth density, though somewhat more reserved, nevertheless carry the half-forgotten and half-remembered memory of the larger family and the comfort found therein. In addition, of course, my friends, there are many very close to graduation within third density who have come to grasp the possibilities of deep friendships and true companionship, not limited to the husband and the wife as it is known among your peoples, but instead offered to those of like mind. The chief reason for failure of larger communities among your peoples is the inability to bring the disparate memories of fourth and fifth and sixth density wanderers into alignment, and further, the inability of all those who dwell in the present incarnational experience in third density bodies in confusing love offered by the Creator from the Creator to the Creator, and that love which among your peoples is termed romantic love. My friends, we cannot offer you solutions. We can only offer a sort of diagram of the causes for miscommunication that contributes to that which is considered the failure of community when it occurs among your peoples. However, we feel that it is important at this juncture to speak to you about that concept of failure. My friends, each of you seeks the far country, if you will, the grass which is the greener. Each of you has gone to at least one far country and has been disillusioned. There is a kind of feeling of death, a death of spirit, of heart, of emotion, when the journey of community and of companionship seem to fail, and there is the turning towards what seems to be a journey backwards, a journey to one's home, a journey to safe ground. And yet we say to you that there are no failures, for it is the attempt about which you shall be concerned. The attempt to share love is far greater than any manifestation which may seem to fall short of the ideal. And the journey home is not a journey backwards, for you cannot go backwards, and the home to which you come is eternal. And each time that you visit that home, you have been transformed. You have been dead, but again, you live, and your spirit begins to soar once again and have hope for the morrow. Those of you who feel that you are wanderers, take heed. For you come not only to share yourself with each other, you came primarily to share yourself with those of third density who may be helped by the sharing of experience with those whose consciousness includes a belief, a faith, and a hope in the ideals of love, compassion, wisdom, service to others, and the seeking of the truth. If you are indeed a wanderer, let it be incumbent upon you to remember why you offered yourself in service to the infinite Creator. And if some are sociable and others solitary, know you that each has the nature of its experience, of its memory, and of its birthright. We close by speaking to those who approach graduation from third density. Look you, my beloved friends, not to the seeming failure of any ideal of love or community, any expression of family, tribe, or clan. But look, you instead, to the ideal which has been shared. Manifestations shall die. The ideal which spurs man's spirits on, ever onward, shall be as they have been and as they are. My beloved, have you any conception of the word forever? Beyond any dimension there is that which binds all in one. And we ask you to cease pondering your differences. Have you white skin and another black? Are you male and another female? Are you old and another young? Are you solitary and another sociable? Are you compassionate and another wise? My friends, this is all illusion. It is reality to you so that you may learn. And those within your midst who are wanderers among you are dealing with not one but two illusions. The illusion of their native densities and the illusion of the present incarnational experience. How easy it is to be the accountant and separate the list of entities who are all the one Creator by this or that difference. We ask you instead to rest and be quiet within yourself and find that within you which is one with all that there is. We ask you to have eyes of trust that you may see the oneness of each other, of yourself. We ask that you may attempt the impossible, for we ourselves are still those unique, still those aware of our differences, although our differences are more easy made harmonious because of the vision given us by the density of love. Yet, how can you exist as spiritual entities if you seek only that which is possible within this illusion, recognizing not the great mystery of the creation? We say to you only that mystery is a unity, though it is far beyond your comprehension, just as the star is far beyond your reach. That reaching, that seeking for comprehension, that love of what seems to be impossible, the unity of all things, shall give you joy and power and bring you peace. Not the peace of one who is dying, but the peace of one who is full of the Creator and fearless in the face of change. For as you interact with each other, whether it be between mated couples, between companions, or between friends, much shall occur which shall seem to be disharmonious. The peace of that which we speak is retained in the face of all disharmony, and indeed grows stronger and more powerful as experience seems to go awry. Those who seek, my friends, place themselves upon a road which seems strewed with boulders and yet is very, very narrow. And as you clamber over the boulders and attempt to stay upon the path, many, many differences seem to present themselves. Count you then the coins of this plenty of difference, and toss those coins away, for such riches shall only cause you unhappiness, and seek you instead that coin within yourself, that unity of self which is in little the example of that which is in the macrocosm. You are all one, my friends. Please dare to love each other. We assure you that although you shall fall, you shall always be helped up again, if only you keep your heart and your mind in the belief, in the faith, and in the hope of unity with the one great original thought of love. We leave you as an inspiration in the love and in the light of our infinite Creator. I am Hatonn.